book came about is because my dad passed away about a year ago, and I had a box of what you laughing? Hold the
Che fa una cosa? Non è Canada, ci resti per hata. This for David. Unica.
What happens when laughter hits at the worst time possible? Not during a comedy show or a funny movie. No, we're talking about laughter in the middle of a courtroom, on live TV, or during a very serious meeting. Moments when you're supposed to be calm, respectful, even silent. But then, boom, someone loses it, and the whole room goes down with them. Some of these clips are too wild to believe. From a fart so loud it stopped a government meeting, to a news anchor trying to say Brestois, and ending up in tears. These weren't meant to be funny, but somehow they became hilarious by accident. There's something very human about it. You know the feeling? You're trying to hold in a laugh and suddenly your body refuses to.
Oh my.
Is that your real hair?
I didn't have...
He told me that I was ugly and fat and that I was a.
Who would do such stupidity?
I don't know.
What's his name? What's his name?
I don't know him.
Listen, your shoulders shake, you snort, your eyes water. The more serious the moment, the harder it hits. And it happens to everyone. Judges, teachers, pastors, anchors, and yes, probably even you. Why does this happen? Why does laughter break through when you're doing everything to stop it? Experts say it's about pressure. When a moment is tense or serious, your brain builds up energy. And if something even slightly funny happens, it's like a balloon popping. You just can't hold it in. Imagine reading a breaking news story on live TV. You're focused, serious. Then your co-host starts wheezing at a silly word, and suddenly you're crying with laughter right into the camera. The teleprompter keeps going. The viewers keep watching, but you can't stop. That's the kind of chaos we're about to dive into. You've had moments like this, maybe in church, or during a school assembly, or at work. You tried to stay quiet, but the laugh escaped, and once it started, there was no turning back. For the next few minutes, we're showing you the most uncontrollable, ridiculous, and inappropriate laugh attacks ever recorded. These are the moments that broke the people who were supposed to stay strong and made the rest of us laugh even harder. So buckle up, because this is real-life laughter with no script, no filter, and no way to stop it. It always starts with something small. A tiny smile at a funeral, a twitch in the corner of someone's mouth during a court hearing, and then, out of nowhere, someone breaks. They let out a giggle. Someone else hears it, then another, and suddenly the whole room is shaking from laughter that isn't supposed to happen. You're not laughing because it's funny. You're laughing because you know you shouldn't. That's the secret. The more serious the moment, the funnier it becomes when someone cracks. Psychologists even have a name for this. They call it incongruent laughter. When your brain gets confused in a stressful situation and releases the tension through laughing. Think of it like this. You're in class. Everyone is quiet. Then someone sneezes really loudly, and the teacher, without missing a beat, says, "Bless you, demon." For a second, there's silence. Then one student snorts, another starts shaking. Before you know it, everyone is gasping for air, trying not to laugh, but totally failing. And the worst part? Just when it starts to calm down, someone snorts again, or lets out a weird sound trying to hold it in. And boom, the giggles come back, harder than before. It's like a war inside your body. Your brain is trying to say, stop, be serious. But your body's like, nope. The harder you try to fight it, the worse it gets. It becomes uncontrollable. And the whole time, you're not laughing at the situation, but at how wrong it feels to laugh at all. There's this one clip that explains it perfectly. A bride is standing at the altar, reading her wedding vows. It's emotional, quiet, and then she starts to laugh. Nervous, awkward laughter. The groom tries to keep a straight face, but then the officiant starts laughing too. Soon the entire wedding party is crying from laughter, and no one remembers the actual vows. That's the power of forbidden laughter. It sneaks in, takes over, and leaves everyone helpless. You can see it in courtrooms, churches, job interviews, even on live news. When people know they can't laugh, that's exactly when the laughter hits. And maybe that's why we love watching these clips. It's like watching someone try to hold back a sneeze. You know it's coming. You're just waiting for the moment it explodes. And when it does, it's hilarious. But this doesn't just happen at weddings or lectures. It even hits the sports world, where huge stadiums, millions of viewers, and ultra-serious athletes are suddenly taken down by one awkward moment. So the big question is, what happens when laughter breaks out during a high-stakes live match? Let's find out next. Welcome to the world of sports broadcasting, where people are supposed to stay serious, speak clearly, and keep the show moving. But sometimes just one small word changes everything. Let's talk about the French soccer team called Stade Brestois. Yes, it's real. It's a respected team. But try saying that name live on national TV without laughing. One day, a group of professional sports anchors tried, and it went very wrong. It started with a simple sentence. Team Brest showed excellent ball control tonight. The moment those words were spoken, there was a small pause. And then the first anchor started to chuckle. The others looked at him trying to stay calm. But it was too late. One laugh turned into two, then three. Someone tried to talk again, but his voice cracked. Another anchor bent over the table, wheezing. And from that point on, the entire show was lost. This wasn't a small YouTube blooper. These were trained hosts, the kind who cover major tournaments, speak in front of millions of viewers, and are usually very professional. But when a funny name and a poorly timed pun came together, they completely lost control. One host even started hiccuping, another wiped away tears, and by the end, they were just trying to breathe. They kept saying, "Let's move on," but they couldn't. The more they tried to be serious, the funnier it got. Even their camera crew and producers could be heard laughing in the background. And that's the thing about this kind of laughter. It comes when it's not supposed to, and then it takes over everything. What made it even funnier was that no one said anything wrong. It wasn't a dirty joke. It was just the sound of the words, the timing, the tension, and the fact that everyone knew they were live on air. That kind of pressure makes it 10 times harder not to laugh. The clip didn't go viral because of the name. It went viral because of the 3 full minutes of total silent chaos that followed. No one could speak. No one could breathe. It was just convulsing shoulders, red faces, and people trying not to snort on camera. And honestly, it made people fall in love with those hosts. It reminded everyone that even on serious shows, we're all human. Sometimes, laughter just wins. And in that moment, no matter how many years of experience they had, laughter crushed professionalism. But if you think that was wild, wait until you see what happens when laughter hits online classrooms, where students, teachers, and even parents get caught in the most awkward and hilarious moments of all. One day, in a normal online high school class, everything seemed fine. The teacher was talking, students were listening, or at least pretending to. But then, one sound changed everything. A loud, clear fart came through someone's mic. It wasn't soft. It wasn't hidden. It was bold, proud, and unforgettable. For a few seconds, there was just silence. Everyone froze. Then it started. Snorts, giggles, then full laughing attacks. Someone literally fell off their chair. The teacher tried to speak, but she was already laughing too. She told everyone to focus, but nobody could. It was like a domino effect. One laugh set off another. Then someone typed "RIP headphone users" in the chat, and that was it. Round 2 of chaos. No one could stop it. This kind of thing isn't rare. During the pandemic, online learning became normal. But it also led to accidental moments like this. People forgot to mute. Dogs barked. Parents yelled in the background. But nothing beats the unexpected fart mic moment. It became an internet legend. That one clip, over 24 million views, and science backs it up. Studies say online school was more stressful than regular school, but it also had more chances for these funny, real moments. Because at home, people are unfiltered. They're in pajamas, half asleep, and surrounded by distractions. It gets worse when everyone is stuck on camera. You can see all 30 faces on the screen. Some are turning red, some are covering their mouths, some are biting pencils just to stop from laughing. But once you see someone else lose it, you're gone too. The teacher's face gets more serious. She's trying to keep control. But the more serious she looks, the funnier it becomes. That's the thing. The harder you try not to laugh, the more your body fights back. And it's not just students. Even professional actors trained for years lose control during serious scenes. They break character. They laugh mid-line. And sometimes those moments are even funnier than the script. So the question is, what happens when trained actors in big movies or live shows completely fall apart laughing? Let's find out next. Even the best comedians and actors, people who train for years to stay serious, sometimes lose control. Big names like Dave Chappelle, Jimmy Fallon, and Bryan Cranston have all broken down in the middle of scenes. And when they do, it's not just funny, it's legendary. It usually starts small, a lip twitch, a quiet snort, someone biting their lip to hold it in. But once laughter starts, it's over. One person laughs, then another joins, and soon the whole set is falling apart. One of the best examples? Saturday Night Live. It's known for being live and unscripted, and also for actors who can't stop laughing. Bill Hader and Jimmy Fallon are famous for it. They try to keep going, but once they hear a silly voice or someone messes up a line, they crack up, every time. And remember the famous I'm Rick James sketch with Chappelle? He tried to stay in character while the whole audience screamed the line. He held it, then laughed. So did we. That's the magic, seeing someone who's always calm and cool just lose it. Sometimes the laughter doesn't even start with the main actor. It's an extra in the background, a weird sound, or a funny face. It hits someone, then spreads like kindergarten flu. Even when the director yells, "Cut!" nobody's ready. They're all on the floor. And get this, one Breaking Bad blooper took 27 takes to finish. Why? Because Bryan Cranston couldn't stop laughing at his own mustache. These moments remind us, even pros are human, and sometimes laughter wins, even on the biggest stage. But if you think movie sets are wild, wait until live TV completely falls apart, with millions watching. Ready for that? Let's go. News anchors are trained to stay calm. Wars, disasters, politics, they handle it all with a straight face. But give them one weird story, and it all falls apart. It happened live. The headline was, "Local man accused of fart assault." The anchor saw the words, paused, and tried to keep it together. But the moment the phrase hit the air, her face twisted, her voice cracked, and then it happened. She burst into laughter. And when one person laughs on live TV, it's over. Her co-anchor turned red. He looked away. He held it for 2 seconds, then he broke too. The next 60 seconds? Pure chaos. Giggles, snorts, someone whispering, "I can't do this." This isn't rare. Today, news bloopers are everywhere. A whole genre online. Anchors losing it over squirrel attacks, funny vegetables, or towns with names that sound wrong. One anchor tried to say Angus beef, but mispronounced Angus in a way that sounded very, very bad. Her co-host immediately leaned back in his chair, laughing. She tried to fix it, but every word made it worse. The camera stayed rolling. The funny part is, these are the most professional people on TV. They're not supposed to laugh. So when they do, it feels even funnier. You see them try to fight it. They cover their mouths, turn away from the camera, even look at the ceiling like it will save them. But nothing works. Sometimes it gets so bad that someone walks off camera, unable to breathe. One Canadian anchor couldn't stop laughing after a squirrel story. She literally waved goodbye and walked off the set, while the show kept going. This is what makes these clips gold. The fight between seriousness and silliness. And the silliness always wins. But what happens when that same uncontrollable laughter hits a live sports event with fans and players watching? You'll want to see this next. We try so hard to stay serious. At work, in school, at weddings, even in moments that are meant to be joyful. We hold back. We tell ourselves, this isn't the time to laugh. But sometimes, the moment chooses for you. It starts as a small smile, a twitch in your cheek, then someone snorts, or a word sounds just a little too weird, and suddenly, you're gone. The harder you try to stop it, the funnier it gets. That's the strange thing about laughter. The more we push it down, the louder it wants to come out. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe laughter, especially when it feels wrong, is actually something very right. A signal from our brain that we're alive, that we still feel, that we're human. It doesn't mean we're not respectful. It just means that we're real, that even in serious moments, the body and mind still need release. And sometimes what we call inappropriate laughter is just truth bubbling up. Truth that says, this is too much, let me breathe, let me feel. So when it happens next time, at a meeting, a wedding, a moment you're trying hard to take seriously. Maybe ask yourself, is this really a mistake? Or is this just me being fully alive? Because maybe, just maybe, that laugh is a gift. From courtrooms to classrooms to live newsrooms, no place is safe from unexpected laughter. It sneaks in when we least expect it. And once it starts, there's no stopping it. But these weren't just random bloopers. They were beautiful, human moments. When control slipped and pure emotion took over. And let's be honest, they made us laugh way harder than we should have. If you want part 2 with even crazier laugh attacks, just comment LOL2 and we'll deliver the chaos. Now it's your turn. What's the worst time you ever burst out laughing and just couldn't stop? Was it a meeting, a wedding, a test? Drop it in the comments below. We might feature the funniest ones next time. And remember, life's too short not to laugh, even at the wrong time.